Hello ladies, Andrea here. I'm going to attempt to do my brows with the new Vic's, you can probably see Vic's written all over that, eyebrow palette. We have our wax. We have our lighter color we use to highlight around the brow after we put our concealer on. And we have our brow color, and it comes with a brush. My brush is kind of right here. Comes with a brush. You can choose to use the wax, dip it in the wax, and then get your color to help make it a little bit easier to do your brows. This will be the first time I'm attempting to do my brows. And then I have a spoolie brush that I use, and this is just a lash and brow, they call it a wand. It's basically like what you would have come in your mascara to help brush your brows. And then of course I'm going to use the brush that is an angled brush that came in the brow palette. So we got our wax, the color to trim around the brows to clean it up, and then the color we're going to use. This is the lighter of the one that we have. We have one that is a shade darker for those that have darker brows, darker hair. Before I dip into this, I'm actually going to brush through my brows. So I gotta take my glasses off to do this because you're doing your brows. My mirror is right here, so I put my mirror in front so that you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, because I'll be going brushing it down, brushing it up. I'm gonna start by fixing my light because it's too dark. Not turned off. Aha, fix the light. There we go. I'm going to start by brushing my brows out because they're always tangled. Well, not tangled, but a mess. Now I'm going to brush them down. This is how you see where your top line is. Another thing is to find out where your brow starts. You want to go straight from the corner of your nose without pushing in. The corner of your nose without pushing in, and that's where your brow starts. So this is where it helps to actually put down the brow palette. And I'm actually going to get my brown, because my eyebrows are brown, my brown brow line liner. I'm going to do this again just so you can see, and then I'm going to mark it out, because where your brows are right there. You can do it this way, because that'll be the end of my brow. And then we'll do it again over here, and then our brows will be even. You see how it's even? A lot of people like to do the unibrow, but you don't have to, because literally it aligns with the end of your nose. And now to find this end, you go from the corner of your eye out. So I'll go from the corner of my eye out, and then I will put a dot right there. See, there's my dot right there. Now the corner of my eye out. There's my dot right there. Now to find your arch, it's kind of the same, but you go from the corner of your mouth up, and there's your arch. The corner of your mouth up, and there's your arch. So you see all my dots are kind of even. That is the best way. This one's kind of light, but I can see where I put it. I'm just doing this so I can mark to show you, because there's the end of my brow, there's the end of my brow, there's where my arch is. End, arch. And they are even, and they go with each other. So that is the best way to set, without doing the unibrow to make it even, to set where you're going to actually be putting everything at. But you're still going to go, and then those will blend in when I'm done. I'm going to brush my brows down, because I'm going to start with the top of my brows and create that line first. So I'm going to come in with my brow palette. I'm going to get a little bit of the wax, on the brush. You barely need any. And then come in with that darker color. Get it on there. Tap it because you don't need hardly any. And then we're going to come in and just base it out. Okay, this is why you brushed your brows down. Because you're going to base it out. You're going to follow your brow line. Because the hairline for your brow is what you're following. And if you need more on your brush, you can get more on your brush. You can make it darker because you use the spoolie to blend it out. And this is where it also helps that you found the end of your brow, because that's where you're going to stop. So there is my top brow line. Now to do the bottom brow line, what I do with my spoolie, there it is. We're going to brush the brow up. So we're going to come in, we're going to brush the brow up. So now we brush the brow up. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to get it on our brush, and then we're going to come down here, and then we're just going to follow the brow line. Don't worry about if you get out of the line or above or in, because you're going to be filling in your brow anyway. You're just creating basically like your outline. So there is your brow. Now to fill in, the best way to do it is to dab you want to do it just lightly to start with. Look at that. Just lightly to start with. And then don't worry if it doesn't look good to begin with, because that's where the concealer and your lighter color come in handy, because once you do your concealer, you can fix that. And then when you come to the front, your front's always going to be lighter than the rest of your eyebrow. And don't be afraid to make it too dark or too light, because you can fix that up as well. I'm going to get a little bit more on my brush to fill in my brow. And this is just filling in your outline. That's it. And we're going to leave that one like that for now, and then we're going to come do this one the exact same way that I just did this one. So you see, it looks good, but it's not perfect yet. That is where your concealer is going to come in handy, and you're going to want a semi-flat brush like this one. So a semi-flat brush, basically a brow brush or an eyeliner brush that's going to be flat. I use my Hello Pink one because I use this one actually for lining my eye, and I don't want to put concealer on it. But that is how I did that brow. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. I'm going to start with a little bit of the wax on the brush, and then I'm going to get the darker brown on the brush, and then I'm going to, oh, I forgot to brush it down. I'm going to brush my eyebrow down, and then I'm just going to follow the outline of my eyebrow, not the eyebrow. This one I always struggle with because I try to look out of my right eye because it's my dominant eye, but it's also my blind eye. So if you need more on your brush, don't be afraid to get more on your brush. And then I have all my kitties coming in here, and the dog. Nothing too new there. So you see that they're actually starting to look kind of the same. That's what you want. And don't worry about if it looks wonky at this stage, because of course it's going to look wonky. You haven't cleaned it up yet. You haven't created your point, because this side's always thinner than this side, and it hasn't come to a point. We will fix that up. Okay. There is my top line. Yep, there's my top line. I always struggle more with this eye than I do the other eye. Now we're going to brush our brow up. Okay, now we brushed our brow up. It is starting to look really gloomy outside. It's going to end up storming again. So now we're going to take and we're going to line the underneath of our brow. See, this one, when I'm doing it, always comes to that point. Don't worry about it. We'll make them look the same when we get there. When we get there, that really tells you guys a lot. Towards the end when we clean it up. Now, your top always should be lighter and come to a point like that, which I did that without doing it right there. Now we're going to work at filling it in. I'm sorry if you can't really see too much, but you see they look really good. They look similar. Wow. This one, my end didn't really come. There's my end. I fixed it. But now we're going to do the same. We're going to dab. Excuse my son in the background.
Hey, at least I said excuse me.
I'll give you that. And then we're just going to fill it in. Fill it in. And don't worry if one brow actually looks darker than the other. And normally, the tail end of your brow is darker than the front. But it is okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be. Now comes the fun part. And when I say fun part, I mean fun part. We're going to clean off that brush. There we go. We cleaned off the brush. I'm going to set that down. Now, spoolie time. Don't worry if it gets all out of whack from what you just did. We're taking the spoolie, and this is where it gets fun because you are creating that thinner, well, it's not necessarily thinner, that lighter part in the front. See how that's gotten considerably lighter? You're creating that lighter bit, and then you're just following it through. Look at that. So much better. And then you're just going to do the same with the other side. Basically, you're brushing it through. And don't worry about if they don't look even. Although I'm doing a pretty good job of making them look even. You can always come back in and fill in. Even though you just cleaned off your brush. Because I did. There we go. Okay, so there is that. There is that. Now, here comes the fun part. You want to take your concealer first before you come in with the lighter color. Because you want to put the lighter color on top of your concealer because it sets the concealer. And it also helps affirm and set the line that you're doing for your brows. So get your concealer. I just have a generic concealer. Get your concealer out and just put a little on your hand. A little goes a long way with concealer. So we're just doing brows. So it's just a generic dollar store concealer because we don't have any yet in our store. But we will get there soon. Now get the flat brush that you're going to use because it's going to help you create that definition that you want. Now, the littlest bit on your brush goes a long way. And when I say littlest bit, I have the littlest bit on my brush. Now you're going to come, I always start with the bottom. And you're going to create that line that you just did in the beginning. If you go into your eyebrow, it is okay. That's where the spoolie brush comes in handy afterwards. Because you can always refix it, redefine it. Here comes the rain. And then pull it down so you're kind of blending as you're going. So once you create that line, come back in and pull it down. Uh-oh, here comes the rain for sure. So you see how I've done that bottom part? I have just done that L. Now I'm going to do the same up at the top. So, and you're creating the shape of your brow again as you're doing this. So we're going to come in. When I do the top, I like to create it and pull it up. See how I'm pulling it up? I need a drink of coffee. That is my A cup. I love my A cup. Now we're going to get some more on our brush. Just a little bit goes a long way. And then we're just going to keep following and take your time. Don't rush.
Holy crap.
I told you, here comes the rain. My son. Uh-oh, we hear squealing tires. It is raining. See, I did a little bit, made this part a little bit too thin, so I'm just going to come back in with some of that brown on the brush that we started with. And that's also why you got an angle brush, because you're going to come in at an angle and you're just going to fix that out. Look at that. It's not the best brow, but it is actually really, really good. And I need to plug my brows, so that's why you get some of the extra hairs down below, which I'm going to fix that a little bit down there too. So there is that brow. That brow is not done yet because we're still going to come in with that lighter color here in a few minutes, but we're going to do the concealer on this side. Welcome to my room. Thank you for coming in. My son just walked in here. Now we got the concealer brush again. Then we're going to just do what we did, block out this one. We're going to do that to this one.
Wasn't it just thundering last night?
Yes, it was. But it's so warm outside that it's going to be a storm. It's going to thunder and lightning. There again, we're getting more concealer on the, and then I start with the bottom, like I did with this one. I'm going to start with the bottom, and I'm just going to block it out. And if it helps you to brush your eyelashes, your eyebrows upwards again to do this, you can do that. Because it does tend to get in the way. Now we're just going to pull that down. And a lot of times I'll pull it down and I'll just cover my whole eyelid, which I may do that still. Look at that. I did better with my right eyebrow than I did my left. But look at that. They look semi the same. Now we're just going to, I'm running out of concealer on my brush, so I just dip it back in. Oh, see, right there, I pulled it in a little bit too much. I'm just going to come back in with a little bit of that brown. We're just going to dab that in there. Without dropping our brush, preferably. And I'm just going to put the concealer all the way through. all the way through. There we go. They're even. Even, Steven. Now we're going to come through and we're going to do the top. So eyebrows take a while. So see how long it took me to do that one. Eyebrows take a little bit. This is what takes the longest when I put on makeup. This is why half the time I have my brows already done before I come on. So now we're just going to block out the top, make it look even with the other one. There we go. Now we're just gonna carry that over. Never be afraid to put more concealer on your brush, because you can blend it out with your blender when you're done. It's because you just put some setting spray on your blender brush and you can blend it out. See, haha, they're looking good. This is actually the best I've done in a video for brows. Let me know below if you guys have ever attempted to do brows before. This is my first time doing it in a video because I'm not very good at them. See right there, I just messed it up a little bit because I'm going into my right one and I'm right-handed. So this is where it's okay, right there. I'm gonna come back in with a little bit of that brown and clean that up because that's not a very good line on this one. You know what, that just helped fix it a little bit. So there's that. Now we're just gonna blend out that concealer a little bit better. It doesn't have to be perfect. There again, like I said, a lot of times I'll bring it all the way down onto my lid, which I think I'll just go ahead and do that. Bring it all the way down onto my lid. Because I am going to put on eyeshadow today. And then we're just going to carry that over to this eye. And then, of course, I'm going to put some down below. So I might as well just do that here in a little bit. But I'll do that in a little bit. We're going to put that brush right there. Now, like I said, I'm going to come back in with some of the brown and tighten up that top line on that eyebrow. Just the lightest bit. There we go. And there is that for the eyebrows. Now I'm going to clean off the brush. Clean, 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 clean. Now, with that lighter color that we have in here, because we just did our wax, and the darker for the brow. So there's our brow. Now for the lighter one, we're going to do the same thing and go around our brow. And we're going to make it more defined down below. So we're going to come in with the lighter one. Get it on your brush. And here we go. This is actually going to help define your brow line. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see that it is going on, but it is going on. I'll come a little bit closer so you can see. But now I'm like right up in the light in the mirror. So I'm kind of using the camera to do it. So you see that now that is on there and it's defining the eyebrow. We're going to put a little bit of it up above as well. clean off my brow because I just got a little bit of that darker brown on it. Clean off my brush. There we go. We're cleaning it up. There we go. And then we're just going to keep doing that on the upper brow. There we go. So that brow is officially done. We're going to do the same with this one. So we're going to just come. And it is okay if you bring it down quite a bit on your eye because basically it's helping you to set that concealer that you put on. My right eye, like I said, I always tend to do better with my right eye. There we go. Our brows are done. That is how I do my brows. I'll come close so you can see. They're not the best, but that is how I do my brows. And then when I go in to do my foundation, if I feel like I need to, I will line a little bit more. That is our video for today. Brows. I hope you've enjoyed. And there again, I have used the brow palette from Vic Cosmetics, our darker brown, the white that you use to set around your brows after you do your concealer, and the wax to help put on the brown. Plus it comes with a wonderful, wonderful little brush. Wonderful. Perfect. Thank you so much for watching. Hello ladies, welcome. I know it's been a while since I've actually done a live. If you see it up top, we're currently live. Put a lip emoji. If you're catching the replay, put a set of eyes or an eyeball. I've done my eyebrows. I did use our new eyebrow palette. Let me show you that real quick. The eyebrow palette. How beautiful is that? It comes with a brush, so you get the brow color, the outlining color, and the wax to put on the color. And then it comes with a brush, so everything is all included in one with a little mirror. How wonderful is that? Beautiful, fun, and the packaging is lovely as well. So that is what I did. All I've done so far is my brows and concealer and get my brows set, and then I concealed and set in my eyes. I'm going to start by coming in with a Revlon with this little orangey color and go just above the crease. So I'm going to get it on my brush, so it's on my brush. I'm going to put my crease is right there. I'm going to put that just above my crease. This is going to be like your transition color. So you want that to not necessarily pop, but just be there. So this is our transition color to make it just beautiful. And it's okay if you get it down into your crease a little bit too. But we will be going into our Vic's palette in here in a minute. So I want that color just above the crease. And you notice how I go like this and I raise my brows to get it a little bit better. That is the color we're going to use right there. So now I'm just going to put that one away. Now the same brush, which is just my e.l.f. brush, I'm using the same one because it's a crease brush. And then I'm going to come into my crease with this brown right here. This is our Cool Shades palette. Look at how beautiful the colors are. This is actually the Vic's palette. So the Cool Shades. I'm going to come in with this brown right here on the corner, which I've not used before, and it's more of a goldy color. So I got to get it going. It's on my brush. I'm going to tap it off because a little goes a long way with ours. So now I'm going to find my crease. I'm going to go into the crease with that color. So I'm in the crease and a little bit above and a little bit below. It is okay. As you see, a little goes a long way. Now that I've got it in, I'm going to do circular motions to help blend it out. And the lighter you want it, and it's easier to blend it out if you hold your brush away at the very end. So now I'm doing the circular motions. Sorry, I'm dropping my brushes. Put my brushes back up there. And I think I want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to get a little bit more on my brush. I'm just going to tap it in, and then I'm going to start with the circular motions. This is almost like another transition color because we're going to have some fun. Where's my crease? My crease is right there. So we're going to put that in the crease. Going to try to make it match the other eye. This is where it gets fun. I'm going to try a different style look today, and hopefully it works out right. Now I'm just doing the circular motions I did on this eye to blend it out and blend it up. Blend it out and up, and then of course you can do like this again. So now they're perfect, they're even. Okay, I'm going to clean off my brush because then I'm going to set it down. Not that one. I'm going to come in with this one. It's a more rounded brush. This one says it is an actual eyeshadow brush from Elle. Now, this is where it's going to get a little sketchy to begin with. We're going to come in with this brown right here. So in the middle of the end, we're going to come in with that one. I'm going to get just the lightest bit on my brush, and we're going to tap it, pat it. And then you can carry it out and in towards your eye. You know what? I'm going to change my brush up because I want a more defined look. So I'm just going to change my brush to this one. It's a more angled so I can do it. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm just working on my eyeshadow. And I am using our Vic's eyeshadow. And if you end up covering up that color that you originally started with, you can always come back in and fix it. I'm going to get a little bit of that concealer that's on my brush because I did not want to go down. There we go. I'm just going to use my finger to blend that out. So there we go. Now we're blending that in just a smidge. So there is that. We're going to do that same thing on the other eye. So I'm just going to come in with this brush instead of the other brush. And I'm going to tap, pat, 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 pat. Is that how far I went in? Yeah. And then carry it up. Pat, 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 pat. It helps to say pat, pat, pat sometimes. Not really, but then we're just going to blend that in. And then we're just going to carry that in like we did. I'm getting closer to my mirror because this is my blind eye. Because I'm looking with my right eye and it's the blind eye. So this one always ends up a little bit different. And there again, we're going to clean off the brush. I'm going to set it down so I can clean up underneath because I don't want it to go down. We're going to smooth that out with that finger. So there we go. We got it on our edges. Now, since we cleaned off our brush, we're going to make sure it's cleaned off really good. I have a towel that I just dab it in a little bit of setting spray, and then on the towel. Now, is this what I wanted to do? I'm going to come in with an even smaller brush. This is what they call the concealer brush. It's just a smaller brush. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of this red right there. It's going to be fun. Fun, fun, fun. And of course I'm tapping it off because a little goes a long way. And we're just going to use the red along the bottom here. And yes, I'm carrying it out into that. So there's our red. Don't worry, we're not forgetting about this part of the eye. But we want that red in there. So I'm going to do the same thing with the side. And I carried it out into the other color. So you see that. And I kind of blended it up a tiny bit. You want to keep it minimal. So now we're going to do the same thing we just did there to this side. So we're going to come in with that red. And I know it looks funny to use browns, purples, and reds. Okay, so now we're going to clean off that brush. We're going to set it down because we're done with that brush. Now, not that one, this one. My little angled brush that I hold like this, straight up and down. See how it's angled? It goes with the natural curve of your eye. We are going to come in. What color was I going to do? We're going to come in with, pardon me, we're going to come in with this gold right here. Not that one, that's one we did already. We're going to come in with the greenish one right next to it. That's what I wanted, the greenish one. So we're going to get that one, get it on the brush. And we're just going to pat that ever so lightly on the inner half of the eye. And we're not going up into the crease. We're staying down below, but we want to blend it. And we will fix the outer corner because that just went a little bit too... Hello, welcome Dee, welcome. We will fix the outer corner because that just went a little bit too lighter than the actual inner. I have used our new brow palette and did my brows. Yay! I did that in a separate video that I just recorded normally because I didn't trust myself in a live and it took forever to do it. And now we're just working on our eyeshadow. So now we're going to clean that off again and we're going to come in with that smaller brush that was a little bit more defining. What I do with it? Right here. It's a little bit more defining. And then we're going to come back in with our goldish color and fix the outer corner of our eye because now it's kind of blended in with the rest. And then you can blend it. See, I got a line right there, so I'm just going to blend it. So there we go. Perfect. And we have only used 3 colors. That eye freaks me out every time because it naturally wants to blink when I'm doing it. So that is our eyes for today. Our eyes for today. And for those of you just popping on, what I do with it, I just set it down. It blends in with everything because my desk is black. I just used our brow palette in a separate video. I will post that one soon because we had a storm, and so I want to edit it. And then I'm coming in and showing you our Cool Shades brow palette and how you can make a wonderful eye look with it. That is it for today. And I'm not going all fancy, all out today. I probably should since I did my brows. Now I'm just going to very, very lightly, I don't have any place to set this down, put on a little bit of our mascara. And so our mascara does have fibers in it, and it is a water-based, and it is a rubber tip designed to grab the lashes. I'm just gonna very lightly, and when I say lightly, I'll come close so you can see it barely put any on. That is what I want. And I'm just gonna stay with the outer. I'm not gonna go further in. That's all I'm gonna do is just the top lashes, because when I blink, it puts it on the lower lashes already on its own. So now I'm just going to do the same with this one. This is why I love our mascara. You can put it on as light or as heavy as you want. And when you blink, it puts it on the bottom lashes. And that is all we are doing for the mascara today. I have mascara on. It is our Vic's mascara. Where is it? It's right here. I have the competitor's mascara that I did in a YouTube video and showed how it cannot go as light as ours if you even try to. It was amazing how it worked because I tried to put it on really, really light and it didn't work. Okay, now I'm not going to do foundation, but I will show our new cheek palette. This is the light colors. It comes in a little bit darker shades. This is our cheek palette. Here is our contouring colors. And then here's our blush. I absolutely love it. I have not used it yet. I love the colors. I will be making a separate video to show it. But this video was just for the eyes, to concentrate on the eyes, to show you how wonderful you can get your eyes. So also, I have two new colors of lip colors that I just got in. This one is Napa Cabernet. I will swatch it on my hand. So Napa Cabernet. Wonderful, wonderful color. And this is a gloss. So it will be shimmery and have a little bit of glitter in it. So Napa Cabernet. Beautiful, beautiful color. I absolutely love it. So there is that one. But the one I was going to wear today when I finish my look is coming up right now. Because it is a brand new color and I just absolutely love it. This is Savannah Sunset. So Savannah Sunset. This one actually has a glitter in it as well, and it is also a gloss. So glosses you may have to reapply. Unlike our liquid lip lock lipsticks, those actually will stay on for close to 9 hours. So here is Savannah Sunset and Napa Cabernet. Look at how beautiful those colors are. And you can kind of see how it gets shimmery and shiny on both. They both have just the slightest hint of glitter in them. So when I finish my look, I will put this one on. But that is all I wanted to do today, was show you how you can do the mascara just as light as you want and a very simple eye. And then of course in a separate video, I did my brows. Now here in a few minutes, I'm going to be making a separate video again to show how to do the cheek palette. So thank you so much for watching. My link will be posted down below for those that want information or to even just look at the products, which I absolutely love. So thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.